Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for joining us for the 22nd Happiness Happens month. Elizabeth and I met, just a little background. We're both HCI authors. This is a copy of her newest book. It's award winning. I don't have the award winning part. I had it upside down. Sorry. Book. And so we met because we just got connected through HCI publications. So I was actually a guest on Elizabeth's podcast initially, and now she's getting to join us here. I also went through her coaching certification. And so I am now a licensed coach thanks to her. So thank you for that. And this has been a really, I value our friendship. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And I totally value our friendship. I don't know why we didn't meet many years ago, but we're meeting now. So we're catching up quickly.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, our paths have kind of like orbited close by, but just never intersected.
Yeah. Well, here we are. So we've got a lot to do.
That's how life happens. So we have the 31 types of happiness, and the points of the interviews are just to kind of show them in action, to show that happiness is a verb. That's what somebody titled one of my interviews, and I love it because I think that is what the 31 types of happiness are about, or showing you how these things show up in your life. And sometimes we just take them for granted. So after getting to know you, I could put you in many types of happiness, and I'm sure you could have many stories to share. But the one that kept coming up in my mind is helpful. You are somebody who is just naturally helpful. I see you doing that in conversations. I see you doing it in your group. I see you doing it with your big group. And I'll let you share about those in either question 2 or now. But it's just, you've got the Best Ever You network. I just see you being really helpful to so many people. So can you share a story of a time when you were helpful and it made you feel happy?
Oh gosh, there's so many of them that to make other people happy is my thing. I love that. I think I could go to my dad on that. Really, truly trying to band together with our family. Back in Minnesota, my father was a stroke survivor. He passed in 2018, and from 2004 to 2018, our family sort of banded together in care for my dad. And I remember when he first had his stroke, I think my mission was to help my mom find happiness in this dreadful moment and moments and so forth, which is very, very, very tricky to do. And it's not antics that you can perform or anything like that, but rather just sort of being there. And so sometimes happiness isn't something that you do for somebody else, but maybe it's just your time and energy and having a presence.
Well, and that can be the most helpful thing in the world. I know when I know people who are going through something very difficult or traumatic that I would actually call in the happiness zapper category true unhappiness, because it doesn't just quickly go away. I will sometimes just text them like, I'm here if you want to talk. If you can't talk, that's okay. If you want to just call me, we can sit in silence.
Yeah, and I think that's the mission of part of what you do, really, because we're not all happy all the time in every nanosecond of our lives. There's these moments, we're going through life, we're going through a journey. And so when you are going through those difficult moments, what can you do to keep yourself with faith and happiness and joy and so forth, to sort of negate or balance or help people who are struggling around you find happiness again, or find happiness in the moment, in very unhappy situations. I can remember sitting there with my mom in ICU, I don't know how many times in it was that he was in the ICU, but he was in the ICU on a ventilator, my dad was. And that today, that was the day they were going to take him off the ventilator. And it wasn't a successful day. It was kind of a miserable day, actually. And I'm like, Mom, we've got to do something else. And I took her out of the hospital. We got in the car and we went over to Kohl's and we went sweater shopping in the midst of a very dreadful experience, just to get her mind off of it. It took her a while to kick into gear. She definitely didn't buy like 20 sweaters or even want to be there, really. But we ended up buying sweaters that matched. And when we got back to the hospital parking lot, we tied them around our necks as superhero capes and went back in.
Yeah, those days, I had a similar day with my mom, and those days are not what you would, in any category put as quote true happiness, but sometimes just having that diversion.
Yeah.
helps you find a different present,
Yeah,
a present that's just not all sad, but a present of
exactly.
life
Yeah.
is moving forward
Yeah.
still. And
Filled
I
with
may need
things.
my super cape today. I love that. And that was probably the most helpful thing you could do, is to give your mom that just little diversion, even if it was just for a few minutes, because that is also happiness.
Yeah.
Sometimes happiness is just feeling a teeny bit better than you
Yeah.
felt the moment before. And
A
when you
little
can help
fleeting.
somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking of a moment where, to me, like, true happiness almost goes into joy. Like,
Mhm.
true, it's an interesting transition from, like, oh, that is just the most incredible thing. And I think of just a most simple moment with my husband and I in the pool, and we'd left the gate open to our backyard, and our neighbor's dog came leaping and bounding through the whole yard unexpectedly, and did a four legs, jump into the pool with us. And it was the coolest thing ever, just to have that moment of dog happiness, because our dog had passed away in January of that year. And to that point, we were like, oh, this is a drag without a dog and all this stuff. And Lucy is this golden retriever's name, sparked that joy of getting another dog back into us. We had like a wake up moment right then and there in the pool. And now we have two puppies.
I love
We've
your,
got the puppy.
I watch your posts and comment on the puppies all the time. I want to come pet them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Lucy was
yeah,
helpful to you
totally.
guys. So
Yeah,
sometimes we always have to pay attention to when others are helping us, and how that
yeah,
sparks, what that sparks,
yeah.
within us. Because
Especially if,
joy is a type of happiness. One of
yeah,
our
and
very ones.
especially if you're the type of person that really is always helping other people, sometimes at your detriment or more than yourself. It's really important to pay attention to those little moments like that, because they show up and you miss them if you're not paying attention. Not that you would miss a golden retriever jumping into your pool with you.
Well, but I think helpers forget we
Yeah,
also need help.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And
we got to
sometimes
fill up
the
our bag.
universe, yeah, the universe will answer that in just different ways. And it
Yeah.
sounds like Lucy was one of
Yeah.
your helpers.
Yeah, cutest thing ever. But yeah, and I think a lot about some of the people in our network when I think about bringing happiness to other people. Sometimes people have goals and they'll verbalize them. They'll say, I want to write a book like you, or I want to do a website like yours, or I want a podcast, or whatever it is, in a work sense of things. And so when you see people, press the button on their podcast and do a show, and you've had a hand in that success, or you see somebody hold up their book and you're like, way to go, you got published, or whatever it is, and you've had any kind of hand in that success or mentoring, those are things that light me up as well. Maybe not to the extent of the golden retriever jumping in the pool.
Wait,
Maybe sometimes depends.
yeah, you
Depends on
just
the
can't
book.
be puppy love, because it's just so,
Yeah,
or
I don't know. It's
dog,
tough to be.
four-legged fur love, whether it's a dog, a
Yeah,
cat, or
yeah,
whatever your pet of choice is.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, I'm a cat
thanks.
fan too. I don't want to make cat fans irritated. I have 3 rescued cats.
We have to say, there was a cat initially on your sofa when we started talking, but it seems to have
Yeah,
decided not to be in our video.
beside me.
Oh,
On the
he's
floor. That's Mel. That's Mel, the podcast kitty, and she appears throughout almost everything that I do. I've had her. She's a rescued feral cat, turned total love. We just applied love to her, and she was fine.
So you're helping cats too. See,
Yeah.
helpful all across the board. So thank you.
Kind of
So
me.
now you have helped a lot of people with your new book,
Thank you.
called the Change Guidebook. And so, do you want to just share a little bit about that and how that can help our people watching our video be a little bit happier?
Yeah, so change is a topic that sometimes makes people unhappy, and my goal is to make people happier and open up a conversation that makes navigating change much easier. And so it's called the Change Guidebook: How to Align Your Heart, Truths, and Energy to Find Success in All Areas of Your Life. And it's here to meet you right in that moment of, what in the world do I need to do, or what has just happened. Whatever kind of change it is, the book meets you in that moment and helps you move forward. There's the 10 points of change in it. And then the book itself, if you want to take it this far, is a masterclass in change also. So you can actually get your certification in change management if you so choose. And,
Yeah, I love that. And I was in your coaching class, and I really love the way you taught that. So for people who are looking at that as an option, or they're wanting to add those letters after their name, you should, check out Elizabeth's coaching as well. And she has her Best Ever You network. Did I say that correctly?
You did. Yeah. It's just, people just call it Best Ever You, and it's at besteveryou.com. It's free to join. You are a contributor there. I love that. I love having you there, and your books and your wisdom and your smile and grace. The way you interact with people makes people so happy. And so I love people like that. And we're blessed to have you. Pamela's in our magazine even. And but yeah, I'm there, and I have a free gift for everybody if anybody wants that. Should I say that? Or yeah, free gift. So if you go to besteveryou.com/change guidebook, there's a free gift there that goes with chapters 1 and 2. Really goes with the whole book, but it really helps chapters 1 and 2 out. And it's something I use in my personal life to make me a little happier. I get the free gift. It's an assessment of sorts around my birthday every year, and use it personally. So
I love that, and everyone loves a free gift, right?
Yeah. It's not shoes. I'm sorry. I wish it was like a download for a free pair of cool shoes or something a little more exciting than an assessment, but it is a helpful assessment.
Assessments sometimes help you go get those free shoes, or go get shoes somewhere.
There you go. Good tie-in.
So, okay, our last question is, my book, Practical Happiness, 4 Principles to Improve Your Life. The first principle is happiness is personal. Yeah. And I think one of the challenges everyone has now is we live a little bit in groupthink. So if somebody says they don't like something, then we think we shouldn't like it either. Or if they say they do like something, we think, oh, I should like it too. I know there's a book that's coming out into a movie that my whole book club loved. I see tons of reviews. Everybody loved it. I just happen not to like. It just didn't resonate for me because I didn't think it was realistic. And I don't want to ditch anybody, but I think one of the reasons everybody's applauding it is because everybody says they're in a group think right. with it. Yes. So happiness is personal, which means something's going to make you happy that might not make your husband or your 4 sons happy, or your girlfriends happy, or your family happy. What is one of your happiness is personals that, probably when you do it 80-90% of the time, it kind of lights up your life? You've shared some, but what's another one?
I think for me, it's got to be writing. It's a toss. It's a tie. It's a tie between getting up in the morning and exercising, or getting up in the morning and writing. One of the two. I try to alternate them, actually, or I try to get up early enough to do both of them, which is really kind of fun. It's quite a morning. You feel like your day is done by about 11 o'clock. It's like, okay, cool, I can relax. But those are my 2 things. I have always gotten up earlier than the rest of my family. So I had those quiet moments, especially being a mom of 4 boys, each 2 years apart. I just got up earlier than everybody to prepare for the day or whatever, because I knew I need that writing time and that space to maybe the me time, like the take care of me time, where I'm exercising or doing something that propels me as a human being, to fill up my bank and bucket before I can help other people, especially. Because otherwise,
I love that. So your happiness is personal also connects to your happiness of helping. And so I do love that. Thank you for sharing your light with everybody. Thank you for helping everybody. And thank you for being here for Happiness Happens Month.
Thank you so much for having me here, and best of luck with everything that you continue to do. It's a joy to have finally met you.
Exactly. And we will continue we will continue building our relationship.
Absolutely.